For those of you who don't know, I can't imagine you don't know, but Assembly Bill 2223 was crafted by Buffy Wicks up in Oakland, and it's a bill legalizing the murder of a healthy, perfectly born child out to 28 days after birth. Law enforcement, if the law passes, law enforcement cannot investigate the death. If they're called somehow by somebody to go to the house where a baby is found dead, they cannot, there's no investigation. The coroner's office will not determine, based on this law, cause of death. It violates law, but the California Assembly doesn't care about the law. And I testified up there. There were two expert witnesses testifying against AB 2223, myself and a physician. And we testified before the Health Committee on Tuesday. And I can tell you this, fake news is alive and well. Fake news was reporting that several hundred people showed up. We're going to show you what several hundred people look like in a minute. But everybody arguing for the bill, they were dancing around the room using words to try to get away from it. Like it was amazing gymnastics in linguistics. But listen, this is an evil you can't escape from. Buffy Wicks is going to own this bill. And listen to this. Even in our own community, tragically, Assemblyman Freddie Rodriguez, remarkable. I assume he's a father. I assume he's a grandpa. He's terming out. This is his moment to go out and end his legacy with his head up. Do you think he would choose that? No. No, he voted for death. In fact, listen up, everybody. To pass the bill, at the time of the vote, when we were done testifying, they voted. And before the vote, there was one Republican woman, Maria, I don't know why, I can never remember her name. I'm going to call her tomorrow and tell her. Waldron, Maria Waldron was the only Republican that spoke up and said, when are we going to learn that if this bill gets passed, the U.S. Supreme, it's going to go to the U.S. Supreme Court, and it's going to get overturned because it's completely unconstitutional what you guys are doing. It's a violation of the First Amendment. It's a violation of the entire Constitution. And the crowd outside in the hallway, we could hear you guys cheering inside the chamber. It was amazing. Hundreds, at least, many hundreds of people outside standing in line, waiting to go to the microphone to voice their opinion, as many did. But she took them to task, and they didn't care. They were on their cell phones playing. I'm not joking. They're on their cell phones giggling and like texting each other or playing Mario Kart or something. I'm not kidding. It was amazing. But at the first vote, it went 3 Republicans to defend the life and 5 Democrats to take life after birth. But that's not enough to pass the bill. So it couldn't pass. So what it happened was, when that happens, it goes into what is on call. So it pauses, and what they do is they go back behind the room. They go back where there's no phones and no microphones, and I don't know what they do. They bribe each other to death, beat each other to death. They bend arms. They do their thing. In this case, all 3 Republicans, there's only 3, all 3 Republicans were pro-life after birth. And then they came back out and voted, and still those 3 Republicans were pro-life after birth, but instead of 5, all 11 Democrats voted to kill the baby from birth to the 28th day. And I sat there, I just sat there, and I realized right then and there, the Republican Party, the Democrat Party, I'm no fan of the Republican Party either. The Democrat Party in California is a death cult. They'll do anything to kill a baby. In fact, everybody was in line. It was, hi, I'm so-and-so from Calvary Chapel, Costa Mesa, or Calvary Chapel of the Harbor. Most of you, by far, hi, I'm so-and-so from Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills, and I'm urging you to vote no. Right at the end, the guy goes, okay, we're all done. Oh, wait, there's 7 more? No, there was about 400 more. But what happened was, this is how they do it. It's staged, it showed. 7 women came in from different areas. They weren't in line. They all happened to be 7 in a row, pro-death. All of them stated that they were from Planned Parenthood and the ACLU. And then, right when they were done, the chairman goes, okay, we're done. Let's vote. And 11 voted for death, 3 voted for life. It passes, and it goes now to the appropriations. And the next move for us is when it goes to the state senate. That's when we get mobilized in informing you again. But this is good. Why is it good if we lose last Tuesday? Because this has lit a fire in people, because nobody knew this was going on. Listen, we raised this flag a long time ago, and people thought we were nuts. Okay? We were being criticized for making stuff up. Turned out everything we were saying was exactly true, because we know what we're talking about. So, listen. Now, law enforcement personnel up and down the state of California is getting involved, because the bill really affects them. So they're getting involved. And there are some others that are in great positions of power. I'm not going to mention their names or their positions of power just yet. But they said, that's it, we're getting involved. So losing this committee vote was a great thing for getting the word out. It has swept the nation. Since I got back, it's all been media making it known, and it's been a tremendous thing. So people, please be praying. I personally believe that God exists. I don't know about you do, but I believe God exists. And if this passes, we're going to watch California literally either fall off into the ocean or go up in flames. This is where God says, that's it, I gave you a chance. So listen, 3,000 people showed up. I think 7 pastors showed up and down the state, 7. Frank Turek said on his radio program, how come 3,000 pastors didn't show up in 7 people? Right? But I personally believe that God is judging the pulpit at an hour like this. Will pastors stand for life? This is a critical moment. This is big stuff in the kingdom of heaven. So take a look, and then we'll get into our study today. Take a look at what went on. That's a couple hundred people. My foot.
Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. God said, woe to those who make unlawful laws and write misfortune for my people. That's exactly what's happening here in our great state. Jesus said that if you offend a child, it will be better for you in the day of judgment to have a millstone tied around your neck and cast into the sea than to stand before him in judgment. I understand how we got here. That when the church divorces itself from what is called politics, this is exactly what we get. Here's the deal. The God of the Bible invented government, not politics. Let's remember that. God invented marriage, God invented the church, and God says he invented government. Government has been hijacked by politics. And the politicians that occupy this building have somehow got into the seats of power while we were sleeping. And I mean while we were sleeping. This is the last stand for California. If we don't wake up to stop murder, we will never wake up. I am calling today, from this moment forward, every single pastor in the state of California to be a watchman on the wall and to stand up for righteousness. We have got to stand for righteousness. I don't care what you believe, if you're an atheist, you believe in God or what, doesn't matter. It is wrong to kill an unborn child, and it is wrong to kill a child that's been born. And we need to hold all those who vote in favor of this bill liable and accountable for premeditated murder. Ben Franklin, when asked, Mr. Franklin, what kind of government have you given us? Franklin famously responded, a republic, if you can keep it.
Yeah, it was an amazing day, everybody.